Is this the new angle now? Because I know we had a different angle last time.
Yeah.
So is this the?
I think so. I got a stick here, a new little convenient tripod, so I can. It's gonna be a little different every day, probably, because it's right in front of my computer, so I can't just leave it there.
I like it. Okay. This one's looking good. I like this. This is a pretty good view.
Sexy?
Yeah, this is pretty good. I like this one.
Okay.
All right.
Well, see you guys later.
That's the
show.
We here.
Ooh, 21 months of poop. We steer.
You in the right direction. Welcome to another edition of the Grossi Perna Show. I'm Tom Grossi. That's Brandon Perna. And this is GPS. Yeah.
How much would 21 months of poop, how much would that accumulate to, you think?
Well, it depends on the person, I think, right?
Yeah, like you or me? People know we poop.
Bro, I poop. I gotta say, it's at least 2 times a day, at least, and that's just the morning. Yeah. So usually it's between 2 and 3, and then we're good. So 21 months. So let's just go even the low end of 2 days a week, 2 times a day. That's a lot of poop.
I think if it were for me, it would reach to the Empire State Building and back.
How many months?
21. I can do a foot a day,
21
basically.
months? Yeah, I mean, that's nearly 2 years.
Foot a day? Maybe even more. Could it go around the globe?
No.
We need a poop scientist to get on this for us, please. I want some football nerd who does like DVOA and what other dumb metrics are out there to calculate this for us. And I want to see it on Pro Football Focus.
After the Netflix roasting of Tom Brady, I'm scared ESPN's coming for my cum jokes. You stay away from my cum jokes, ESPN! I'm the king of jizz. I'm the king of jizz, ESPN, not you.
Anything is possible!
Hell yeah.
Look.
Hell yeah.
I'm more confident now than ever. Like, we could end up on a network. Based on what they let people say all the time. Ours may be more not ours. Mine may be more profane sometimes.
Sure.
But it's never like
Godspeed, Neo.
Controversial, you know? So, we do have a big day today.
We do have a big day. You know why?
What? God damn it.
Listen, appeared on NXT again. They said his name and he appeared.
Did he do this?
Just saying. He did.
I get this a lot, and I've said it a couple times recently, but I wouldn't sell bad shit, guys. Pleasantly surprised it didn't taste like ass. That's going to be the next blend. You'll be pleasantly surprised this doesn't taste like ass.
Let's go, Den. Congratulations. Let's go.
Johnny, actually, since you're here, Barks, we're going to be talking about Terrell Davis today and the Broncos. If you could clip that out for me after the show so I could use it, that would be amazing.
There you go.
I want a clip about the Broncos because legend Terrell Davis wrongfully detained after a plane flight. We're going to talk about that. Quinn Miners gets a new contract. And then, yes, we will predict the NFC East with deadly accuracy. Precision. Oh, they got a $3 billion TV deal?
Look at that.
Oh, hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
If you want to know how the money was working for the WNBA, I didn't know. Like, Will wrote all this about how the NBA, like, funds the WNBA and supplements, like, costs for their operating costs. So that's awesome. That is, hey, ratings are good.
This is also news.
Yes.
I feel like we've talked about this 115 times. Where it's like, I got corrected by 49ers fans, and rightfully so. They're like, Tom, well, technically, he never requested a trade, all right? So technically, if we got... And now, here we are. We finally have made it after they don't want me, and he's in the doghouse, and now, apparently, he's requested a trade, which means absolutely nothing. Because the 49ers could be like, that's nice, pat, 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 and then report to camp or else. So, I don't know if there's going to be any news coming from this. I mean, they avoided the Deebo Samuel trade, right? Mm-hmm. So I think it's just kind of waiting and seeing. But there are a couple teams and a couple fans out there that are like, please give me Brandon Aiyuk. Thank you.
Check. I'm one of them. I am one of those. It's interesting because, okay, so I thought I was going to try and crank out a short.
It's coffee.
Oh, man.
Just F the ref's coffee.
F the ref's coffee is a great gift. If you remember from a previous show Tom and I did, I said I got my kid on his first birthday, season 1 of MacGyver. So I would go to the MacGyver archives. A 3-year-old? Is it a boy or a girl?
A Razor
Scooters
scooter.
are good. A Strider bike's pretty awesome.
Razor scooter.
Carmi's like getting good on the Strider bike. We did a long walk yesterday.
Maybe a Peloton.
You fat little shit, get on this Peloton and start cranking out some calories.
They have to pay for it, though. Do not pay the subscription.
Ooh.
The subscription to Peloton, right? Isn't it a subscription that you got to pay? You
yeah,
don't pay
but you
that
get all the classes with that.
Yeah. No, you make the 3-year-old pay for it.
Okay.
Fiscal responsibility, exercise. Yeah. There you go.
Get a job, you little shit.
Good job.
Whatever you do, Nick, just call him a little shit all day. Not Total Ass by Benchwarmer Brew. There we go.
That's it. NTA.
I do need a gimmick. That's the only thing that sells.
It does.
Oh, yeah. Johnny Bark says Bluey is the best.
We're not going to talk about it just yet. I'm flying out tomorrow for the inspection. Don't worry. Yeah, there is still a good amount of stress in here, but don't worry.
Dude, the inspections are important. Yeah. If I ever sell my house, I'm just going to show them all the shit they need to fix that I refuse to do.
Yep.
This is broken. This is broken. This is broken. This is broken. Full transparency. You still got to buy the house.
Yeah, that's pretty much.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what it is. Yeah.
What are we talking about? Aiyuk. Okay.
Yeah, Aiyuk. Don't do it, Brandon.
I'm marketing to non-Browns fans, right?
Exactly.
If I do a team-by-team blend of coffee, and it's just like the most...
The rivals buying it.
Yeah.
Hey, that could be a business venture.
That's actually... I like dog shit.
It's clean.
Clean. So my camera's clean. Nice.
It is.
I got my sister one for her birthday. It's her birthday today, so happy birthday to my sister.
Oh, it's your sister's birthday?
Yep.
I'll shoot her a message.
You keep your damn hands off her, Tom.
She DM'd me first.
Okay.
First of all, I have the receipts.
I like my brother-in-law, but maybe I could have 2 brother-in-laws.
Hey, you want those GPS studios in Denver, Colorado? It's not happening now. But...
How do I broach the subject with my sister? You will now have 2 husbands. And they're both okay with it.
Yeah, there's worse things. I'll be the long distance husband.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's fine.
Perfect.
It's fine.
Perfect.
All right.
I have
All right, go ahead, Prem.
Brandon Aiyuk.
That's Nick, that's just what's gonna happen though. That's just that the Colts are gonna have a better record than the Broncos? Yeah, that's
not guaranteed.
No.
That's not guaranteed.
You want to make a bet on it, Brandon? Oh, wait.
If I win the bet, can I just not have to watch Coach?
You had to have watched it already. There's a bust that needs to happen, or there's Coach that needs to happen.
I will get the bust. Somebody's got a link. Rachel's supposed to make it. 3D print it.
Print it.
Rachel made me a curse wheel logo, so...
I saw that. Did you decide if it was demonic enough?
I still don't actually. No offense, Rachel, but I just paid her this morning, and I think it's good, but I don't think it's satanic enough.
Oh,
but it's. Somebody said it reminds them of if like Guy Fieri was coming out with a new hot sauce, and now I can't like unsee that. It's good though. It's gonna go right in the center of the curse wheel. That's not a knock on the design because I do love it. But I've got it. We've got it. We added horns. I told Rachel to redden up my skin a little bit.
Second.
Come on. Upload.
No, but that time of the year is coming. It is. That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
I like the horns. The horns are good. That's pretty good. After training camp, potentially.
Yeah. So it's got to go in the middle of the new curse wheel, and I think it'll be nice.
That's it.
Oh, you know what I just thought of?
We raised lots of money for right, because it's Courtney, right? That's the sister you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, we raise all the money for charity and stuff. It's good.
Yeah, she works with companies that help charities raise money. So
that's it.
She's the good one in the family. And she turned me on to Solving Kids Cancer, the charity, which I'm going to do another fundraiser probably in August, just on a live stream. But that's a very small charity where like the dollars raised for it go a long, long way. And they're working on finding cures and helping with like the rarest cancers for kids. She's the good one. I just make dick jokes.
It's good. But that's the thing, right? Like that's what like the December streams and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, you pick charities that are smaller because like you raise money for like St. Jude, that name recognition, but that's why we do the smaller ones too. Cause it's like, even like $1,000 like is great for them because those dollars, they mean a lot. I think Sam Darnold starts. Yes.
Yeah. They're literally like the money we raised helped them stay open for like another year. So it's cool. Brandon Aiyuk. I hate how you have to spell Aiyuk. I always flip-flop the Y and the I. It doesn't make sense to me, Tom. And
you just
for
that,
I hope he doesn't get traded. I hope he becomes paid even less based on his name being difficult with the vowels. That said, I wish he would get traded to the Denver Broncos. The news came out yesterday. It was like, he officially requested the trade. I was like, I'm going to have to make a short about this. And then like 15 minutes later, Adam Schefter was quote tweeting his own tweet. Quitter. Ooh, what if we invented Quitter? It's for everybody who wants to quit social media, but they just can't.
I like that.
He quote tweeted it saying, the Niners have no intention of trading him. And that's what people kind of went back to is like Debo requested a trade. There's another player in there and they got deals done with them. The difference is like the reason I don't think a deal's done right now is like the 49ers are paying a lot of guys.
Sure.
I don't know what their cap is next year, but I think they could get good trade value for Brandon Aiyuk. And it might be one of those things where they do it before the trade deadline. And I thought the timing, he officially requested the trade was yesterday, like the same day they announced that Ricky Pearsall was going to be on their like non-football injury list for a while. Did he see a window? It's like, the guy you drafted might be a little bit hurt. Now I want a trade or a new contract. I don't know.
Sure.
But if Pearsall is good, if they work him into the offense early and see like they like him, maybe that makes their willingness to deal Brandon Aiyuk a little more urgent, and they try and get a deal done before the trade deadline. But a lot of teams would benefit from him, and the Broncos make sense because I think they could trade Cortland Sutton for Brandon Aiyuk. And that there would be draft capital mixed in there somewhere. I don't want to lose Sutton. I'm not saying they should, but he would be an interesting fit with the Niners. He's kind of like a receiver they don't have, and his contract is cheap. So I think like the swapping of the salary there would be easy. But anyway, I don't expect anything to happen, and I don't think anybody does.
Yeah, I mean, like, if Ricky turns out to be really good, like, they could even do it mid-season, right? And turn around and be like, who needs a wide receiver in case there's injuries or what have you. So, yeah, the ball is squarely in the 49ers' court, and they don't have to do anything. So they could just be like, all right, like, we'll fine you if you don't show up. So, again, after that CBA, not really great for players that want to sit. Not really great.
No.
So.
And I mean, like, he's going to make $14 million this year. Like,
Yeah. It's fine. It's fine.
Oh, thanks, Nick.
Oh.
You could change your identity and sign up again. Get your name changed legally.
I think this is starting to
get new credit cards.
Fraud.
New first-time deposit. No, it's not fraud.
Okay.
It's not fraud.
It's not fraud. It's not fraud.
Do I encourage anybody who already signed up to change their identity? Yeah. Come on. That's not asking too much.
That's fair. That's fair.
All right, let me go
this
to
Terrell Davis stuff.
Because this, what's that?
Are we talking about Terrell Davis?
Yeah, because this is bullshit.
Dude, I read this. Yeah, I'm so glad that you wrote that because, like, I read this yesterday and I was like, are you kidding me? Like, it's pretty bad. It's pretty damn bad.
And it's like Terrell Davis is one of the most like mild-mannered people.
Except against the Packers.
I mean, on the field, he can do it. I mean, he was blind when he was running tuds against Green Bay. If the NFL is smart, they should allow like us to live stream reactions to like old games. And me and you watching that Broncos Packers Super Bowl, boy, that would be fun.
No.
Boy, that would be fun.
No.
All right. Yeah, so this is bullshit, okay? I saw this too, and this happened like he put out some messages on, I think it was Instagram.
It was Insta.
It was like 4 long messages about how like shitty this whole situation was, how humiliating it was to him and his family that had to witness him getting handcuffed at the end of a plane flight because a flight attendant accused Terrell Davis of hitting him.
So basically, the story is that the flight attendant pushed in the cart, right? And if I'm not mistaken, he asked for ice for his son, right?
Yeah, ice, a cup of ice.
So he literally like reached back and was like, hey. And the flight attendant was like, do not hit me. And he's like, okay. And then the flight proceeds as normal. And then at the end of the flight, you have guys come on board and literally handcuff him.
Yes.
In front of like his family, in front of every other passenger, take him off the plane. And the best part about this, because like you could be like, all right, maybe there's a little like he said kind of thing going on, like who knows. But then like it was the authorities were like, oh, that's our bad, because they literally heard what happened and were like, oh, oops. So that's how you put that in the rundown too. That's how you know they done messed up.
Yeah. So it's like
it's FBI agents.
Yeah, like
for Terrell Davis, dude.
This is crazy. It is just, it's wrong. It's fucking wrong. So yeah, he was saying like his kid was trying to get ice. The flight attendant didn't hear. So he like tapped them to get their attention. And then his response was like, you don't hit me. Is that what he yelled at him? And then don't hit me, and left the beverage cart and hurriedly approached the front of the plane. So he went and told the pilots or, whoever that somebody on the plane just hit him. And I guess protocol there is they alert the authorities to wherever they're landing. When they landed, everybody on the plane was told to not move. And Davis said that after like what the flight attendant did, like everybody was confused in the area of like what just happened.
Yeah.
And so cuffed, taken off the plane. And then this is it. Here's the line. During questioning, it was rightfully determined by the agents, 6 FBI agents, by the way, 6, that the flight attendant was inaccurate in his accusation, and the agents profusely apologized, even offering to support me and my family in any way possible. Which, if I was Terrell Davis, I would have said, look, FBI, let's take down Patrick Mahomes. If you can go get Patrick Mahomes for me, we'll call it even.
Yeah,
I
we're
won't press charges against the airline. Just
lawsuit.
get him off the field. Arrest him every game if you have to. Detain him for as long as you can. The flight attendant's been let go by United Airlines. They've apologized to Terrell Davis. So just how dare they? How dare they do this to Terrell Davis? Which is like you see Terrell Davis in handcuffs, you're like, what? Because that's like a shock, right?
Sure.
It's not like a guy where you'd go like, oh, that doesn't surprise me. Like if Deshaun Watson cuffed again, nobody's going to be surprised. You know what I mean?
Here we go again. Yes, man, what a fitting.
Even if it's like, you say like Gronk handcuffed, you're not going to be surprised. You're going to be like, he probably didn't mean to do whatever he did, but maybe Gronk was partying. Terrell Davis is a fucking saint. This guy is a saint.
He was a Bronco.
What's that?
Thought he was a Bronco.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yes. I'm guessing.
You like football?
Yeah, I do.
We do too.
Johnny Manziel handcuffed. We're not going to be surprised.
Okay.
Terrell Davis? Come on now. I'm guessing this flight attendant was a Raiders or Chiefs fan. Chargers fan wouldn't do it, but I guarantee you, if we find out which fan of which team this person was, it'll make a lot of sense. The LeBron James School of Flopping.
It's the School of Flopping.
Nice.
Yeah, I was like, nope.
Yeah,
that's no good. That's a whole lot of no good. I'm glad it was like rectified in terms of like they realized like, hey, this is wrong. But like, dude, like that's also incredibly embarrassing to like happen in front of your family and everybody else.
Yeah.
Like that's humiliating. And for what? Like for what?
I almost lost my shit on my flight back from Hawaii when they didn't have the whiskey I wanted to drink. They're lucky. I just choked down some Jack Daniels like a respectable flyer.
What were you gonna do, Brandon?
I might have made a scene, Tom.
You would have made a scene.
I would have made a scene.
We're gonna see Brandon Perna in handcuffs.
I get it though. Like people get crazy on planes. That's why
Sure.
like they have to like react like this because we've seen enough assholes do crazy shit.
Yeah, there's some great flight attendants that have to deal with a whole lot of crazy people. Absolutely.
Like I feel like every 2 months you see like passenger duct tape to their seat during flight.
And usually 99% of the time I'm on the flight attendant side.
Yeah,
because I was just
exactly.
like anytime you have to tape somebody, like, they probably deserved it. Deserved it. Oh, yeah, that was a thing too. So this was such a collective internet experience that the home run derby, right? That's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
The home run derby. You had this person come out and sing the national anthem, and let's just be very honest. It was really bad, right? Not piling on. Like it was just not good. And the entire internet was like, what in God's name did we just watch? And then the singer came out and was like, hey, I was really drunk. Like I'm going to rehab, which I gotta say, like kudos. Like, listen, no excuse. Here you go. Here's accountability. Going to make a change. Going to fix it. And I hope they do. And I hope that's rocking. But, woof.
Yeah,
that's
it
what
was,
Ingrid. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, LQ. Appreciate you.
Ingrid Andress.
I've heard.
She says, I'm not going to bullshit y'all. I was drunk last night. I'm checking myself into a facility today to get help I need. That was not me last night. I apologize to the MLB, all the fans, and this country I love so much for that rendition. I'll let y'all know how rehab is. I hear it's super fun. XO Ingrid. So, yeah, she won. She won the internet after, becoming viral for the wrong reason. But
Fergie's out there like,
yeah.
We're good.
What would you rather do? Sing the national anthem really poorly or have a horrible first pitch? If you had to pick, you have to do one.
Oh, it's first pitch, easy.
Is it
Dude.
because it's over more quickly?
Yeah, it's just like, oh, I'm garbage. Okay,
No,
yeah, dude, national anthem. I gotta stand there in front of thousands of people and be like, and it has to be bad. Can I like try? Because like I know I'm not a good singer, but can I try at least?
Yeah, of course you can try to sing.
So it's not intentionally bad. It just is gonna be as a result of me singing it.
Yeah, I would rather do a bad national anthem.
Really?
Yeah. I don't want my manhood questioned, for throwing a bad pitch.
Hey, I'm
not secure enough.
The catcher caught it when I threw it in Jacksonville because I was terrified.
There you go.
Terrified.
See? Yeah.
The catcher caught it.
Yeah, you've already done it.
It was a little slightly over to the plate, over, but
I'd rather people be like, you suck at singing versus you suck at throwing. For me.
Yeah, I get it.
They would hurt more for people to think I'm bad at throwing.
Yeah.
Oh, say, can you see? Pretty good.
I think you go out there and crush it.
Yeah.
I
would try really hard, but
yeah, exactly. I didn't pull a 50 cent.
If I ever do a
Travis
first
Kelce's
pitch,
first one.
I want my speed clocked. I want them to have the gun out there. I think we should get speeds for first pitches now. That would be tight. That'd be so tight.
How much of a heater do you think you could throw right now, Brandon? Like if you were on the mound right this second.
And
is it getting over the plate?
Get between 60 and 70.
I think 60 and 70. Have you thrown a baseball recently?
No. I bet if I practiced, I could get between 70 and 80.
No. I'm not saying practice. You're saying right now you could throw a 60 to 70 mile an hour fastball. It's going over the plate?
I don't know if it'll go over the plate. I can definitely get it over the plate because consistently.
Here's the thing. When I was younger, I played baseball and I played it growing up, and then I played backyard baseball and all that stuff with my friends. But then I went to college and I just didn't play baseball. I played football, right? Or I played soccer and stuff like that. And then I just never really played baseball. My dad has a softball league that I used to play, but that's not baseball. So I was handed a baseball in Jacksonville. I was like, I haven't thrown a baseball in a while. It's been years. I was like, yeah, I remember how to throw a baseball, but I don't know how this is going to look. So that was my first throw I've done in years. So it's difficult. It is. A mound is further than you think. So, just saying. All right, Perna, we talking about the NFC East?
I don't do a lot of things well, but I can throw, mother lickers. See, that's why I'm so concerned about doing it for first pitch. Me being able to throw well is very important to me. Ooh.
I mean, as long as, it's not really, really bad, I think you're fine.
Yeah. You don't even have to get it over the plate, but as long as the throw looks good.
The catcher caught it. It was just a bit outside. Catcher caught it, and I was like, don't care. And I have to tell you, Perna, throwing a bad pitch, there's a lot of awkwardness in there too. Because when I went to that Jumbo Shrimp game and nobody there knew who the heck I was and why I was doing this, and I went out in tights, dressed like a cat with cat ears, right? And spots on me. It's tough. It's tough. When I threw the pitch, well, first of all, when I walked down the mound and you hear, and that's it. Not great. And then when I threw it and I celebrated because I was like, the catcher caught it. And it's silence. Yeah, it's something.
Yeah.
It's something.
Didn't CJ Stroud throw a pretty bad first pitch? And everyone's like, see how different throwing a football and a baseball is?
It's very different. It is very, very, very different.
Yeah. I do want to shout out Quinn Miners for getting an $80 million deal from the Broncos.
The belly.
Great extension. Great story. Dude's a beast. We love him in Denver. The Broncos line, underrated last year. I think that's going to look even better with Bo Nix. Oh, thanks, Kirsten. And I actually had to edit that one.
There you go.
So that's nice to hear.
That's been making rounds too. But go ahead, talk about the belly.
Randy Johnson.
The bird exploding. Just
Yeah,
picture.
that is. I think that's the most crazy sports highlight ever. That can't be topped for me.
The bird exploding.
Like the probability of that.
And everyone just going, what?
And the fact that it's Randy Johnson throwing it too just makes it's
That's
so
pretty
much
dope.
cooler. And now he's a photographer. Like Randy Johnson's a legit sports photographer, I think.
See, I love that. I know, I'm so sorry. Now we're getting sidetracked because this is the rails. I love that stuff. Like especially like when it's athletes who like have a great career and then they're like, yeah, now I'm into painting or now I'm into like photography. And I was like, hell yeah, man. Like that's dope. That's super duper cool.
Yeah.
I respect that. We did talk about Brandon Aiyuk a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be expensive.
We don't think he's going to be traded.
Not anytime soon.
He's good though. He's a little underrated.
He is good.
I could live without all the drama around trade me, don't trade me, the contract stuff. I like my contract. This is like the most boomer take you can have. I like my contract negotiations silent. You know, I don't want to hear about it. All right, here we go.
Crushing it.
What are we doing today?
Oh, Skip Bayless real quick. Yeah. So, good God, man. Talk about bad business decisions.
Oof. It was.
Yep.
I was gonna say it was surprising that they let him go when they did. We knew, like, I thought they were just gonna let him like finish out his contract and like move on. And
when I say bad business decisions, by the way, I'm not talking about letting Skip go.
No, I know.
Okay.
It was them moving on from Shannon Sharp instead.
Yes.
They bet on Skip. And I talked about it in a Sharp video. I was like, that was whoever made that decision as an executive should be canned. Because you're not looking forward. You're not thinking forward. And you go ahead. Like I exhausted my thoughts on this already.
I mean, to go from like having a show that people like complained about, but were like, listen, you obviously have like the best part about this show, leave. And it did not last long. I mean, listen, I don't think anyone's going to feel bad for Skip Bayless. I mean, the guy has made $1 gajillion yelling about sports on the internet and on TV, right? So at the same time, it's like, I'm curious to see what he does. Like, does he go do his own thing now? And like, how successful would that be? I don't know.
No, he has his own YouTube channel already and his own podcast. But like nobody's watching. And like, if he does his own thing, like he can probably carve out a niche for himself. But and the point like we got to in the video as well is like, he got to where he was because he was incredibly talented. He was a very good writer. And then he understood like what people wanted to see and hear sports dudes talk about, I think like very well. And it just over the course of time, it just got more and more diluted. It would be like if we talked about poop every episode. You know what I mean? You can have fun. You can say like the crazy things and people can know you're kind of just like playing a bit. But I didn't get it in the video. I was like, Skip played the bit so long that he became the bit. Like there's just no difference between it. And I found Woody Page talking about him, saying that Skip actually believes all the bullshit he says. And there was I couldn't find the footage, but Skip and Woody got into a physical altercation on one of their live debates way back in the day when they did First and 10 together, where Skip choked him. He choked him, and then they started wrestling. They took it out on the street. And Skip, in this like interview recounting, it's like, you can watch the video clip on YouTube. I could not find it. If somebody finds that, please link me to it. And I didn't put it in the episode, but Skip was talking about they're doing their rundown before the show. And they were going to end on this like funny question about like, would you as a man give up sex for a year to take off 4 strokes off your golf game? And Woody was like, I've gone a year without sex anyway, so of course I would do that. And Skip basically told everybody in the room that he had sex with more people than everyone in that room combined. And they're like, well, that's not really the answer we want from you or whatever. So live on the show, they ask it, and Skip says that he's had more sex than Woody could ever even dream of. And that pissed Woody off, and that's why he choked him live on air. So it's like a good example, I think, of like how annoying Skip might be just on camera and off camera to everybody.
But can we also...
Yeah.
I want you to just walk with me for a quick
Sure.
moment.
Sure.
You're a young person, right?
Yeah.
Fresh out of college. You have been dreaming about sports journalism, sports broadcasting. You went to school for it. Oh my God, you have this amazing opportunity to work for this network. And what you're working on is, would you give up sex for a year to take strokes off your golf game? Maybe that's part of the issue too.
Sure.
Like that, in a sense of like, again, we talk about the stupidest crap ever, right?
Yeah.
And it's great and it's amazing.
But that's like we've never tried to pretend like we don't do that.
Because I think it's difficult because there's always a level of like Brandon and I, we talk about a lot of silly things, right?
Yeah.
Often, very, very often. But we also both like work our asses off to make sure that like when it's the season where we have to talk about actual things, like we're informed about what we're talking about to the best of our ability. But there's always a level of like, guys, at the end of the day, like this is our opinion and like we're doing this is how we're presenting it. When you are presenting yourself as like I know a whole lot of stuff and I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
Right? Like there's stuff like when Dak, right, and he came out about like the mental health struggles and stuff, and then he was like called like, what was it, like weak and fragile or something by Skip. Like, like it's like this stuff is, it makes you, like you said, you become the bit and it goes off the rails from there. And that's tough to get back from. It's tough to play both sides of that.
In addition to that, Skip could never admit when he was wrong. And I think like that is a very that's a huge like turnoff for a personality trait. Like somebody who always, and I get like when you're debating in that format, sure, believe in what you're saying. Be like, but like when you make mistakes, the Dak thing could be one of them. The DeMar Hamlin thing, like if you go and listen to him apologizing about that, he never apologizes for what he did. He apologizes for what they were going to talk about during the show the following day.
When your laptop is powered by an Intel Core Ultra processor, you've got what it takes to unlock new AI.
Well, okay. Intel, sponsored by Intel. But yeah, it's just like you've got to like we admit when we're wrong on here like all the time. I get shit wrong so much. Sure. And you need that. You need to be like, yeah, I fucked up, guys. I'm sorry. I fucked up. And people are going to rock with you after that. Like, I'll be like, okay, at least he knows when he's an idiot. Skip never acknowledged when he was an idiot. And I think that was over the course of time, that became an issue. But
sure. Yeah.
Sharp was a star and the show was good with Sharp. And
things also got super personal too. And it's just like, what are we doing out here? Because then it's just, it's weird. I think there's a lot of insecurity there. It's just, because I think if you become the bit for as long as you are, and then you're like, wait, no, guys, like I want to be taken seriously. That's a really, really tough turn. It's a really tough turn. So,
but he's gone. And so, I mean, he's old too. He's 72. Like, it's, sometimes it's just time to move on. It's like, it's time to move on.
Yeah.
All right.
Perna, what a fitting.
Oh my God. I need to clip a Skip talking about girth and tonnage added to link me. I don't know that clip. Jay Deli. If I need a girthy clip for sure.
Only clip I know is
how easily we forget. John even says,
a thank you to John Elway, or John Elway.
I love sex.
We need the girthy clip and that together.
Wait a minute. Why is that? I forgot that was it originally.
I love sex.
All sack sports too. We're so unserious. Maybe you're right, Brandon. Maybe at this point, some network is gonna be like, It can't get any worse.
No, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I'm saying like what I thought was the thing that would prevent it is no longer there.
Yeah, it's gone. The bar is gone. It's just is
like one thing they were in one of those First Take episodes, they were questioning RG3's blackness. They're like,
oh God.
Like that was like a big thing. It's like that's a weird thing to be talking about.
It's true, Scott.
Like
too young.
I did say I want people to question my whiteness moving forward. I would like that to be a discussion.
I blend in with my wall, so
yeah.
I get sunburned.
I want people to say
to
you're not white. You're not as white as Tom. You're not white enough like Tom. I want that question.
It's not a compliment. I burn so easily. Seriously. I go and I get a severe tan when I go into Green Bay. It's true. It's true. All right, we got 20 minutes left on the show. Let's.
We can do this. We can predict the NFC East.
We can.
Should we start with the Cowboys?
We can start with the Cowboys.
The Cowboys are so easy to predict. They're going to get into the playoffs and they're going to fucking lose.
Yes.
It's just like they're going to be good. I don't think they got better.
I don't think enough. It's between them and the Eagles of winning the division. Let's start with the folks that we know are not going to win the division.
The Giants.
Yeah, we can start with the Giants. Okay. Let's talk about the Giants. So the Giants, it was talked about before that maybe they could finish in second. I don't know about that. I mean, losing Saquon, I like Devin Singletary. He's not Saquon Barkley, right? The O-line, I still think, while improved, I don't think is going to be significantly better. You still have a huge question mark with Daniel Jones because it's like, yeah, he can play, but how good is he gonna play? Meh. Especially if you can't rely on a consistent run game. Another one. On top of that, they got Neighbors, who is supposed to be really, really good. I think he'll be good there. Wan'Dale Robinson, solid, definitely. I just don't know if there's enough firepower. They should definitely be better at wide receiver because they got Neighbors, but and then the defense, they lose McKinney. I think that's a big loss for their secondary. I think that they're not going to be a great football team and are going to kind of just be figuring it out this year. And they seems like a weird transition year of this might be the last one with Daniel Jones, and then they go draft a quarterback next year.
Yeah, it's make or break for Dan Jones. I'm rooting for Dan Jones to play well. The only part of me that's not rooting for Dan Jones to play well is because I would love to see Drew Lock and Tommy DeVito at different points this season. Give me the Gabagool Gunslinger and Horsecock Lock out on that field. Dan, I don't have any cool nicknames. Jones, you're boring us all. That said, Dan's been through the ringer. And anytime a guy gets, poo-pooed on because he gets a contract and then doesn't play well and gets hurt, I'm going to root for that guy. I
got the Irish skin. I did.
But again, I just don't know. You hope to God the receiving core is better, that there are actual weapons there for him. I think did somebody point out what the Giants offered Saquon versus what he got with the Eagles, and it was the differences were small.
Yeah,
it was a few $100,000 more, or maybe up to $1 million more with the Eagles, which is obviously a lot of money. But I think Saquon just wanted to go and play for a team that was better. On the defensive side, maybe one of the more underrated players in the entire NFL is Dexter Lawrence. Dude's a beast at nose tackle. Yeah. They add Brian Burns, which is
I like that. Nice. I like that a lot.
So the offense needs to be better. It needs to be improved. They need to run the ball effectively, but I think the defense is what can make them competitive this season. And it's got to be up front because I don't know about their back end.
Yeah, we want to see guys like Thibodeau continue to do well. I think Brian Burns, I love him as a player. It's just their secondary, like you said, has so many question marks in it too, and they've lost guys. And I'm curious also what this defense is going to look like because there's no more Wink, right? So, yeah, I think it might be a little bit of tough sledding for. I could see them maybe finishing in third, but I could also see them finishing in last.
Yeah, my thoughts on the NFC East is this going to be a tough division this year. I think all of these teams are kind of, I don't want to say evenly matched, but this feels like a kind of a dogfight division for this season. And we'll go to the Commanders.
Yeah.
Who I'm actually a little high on.
Okay.
Because I think Jatden Daniels is going to be a problem as a rookie.
All right.
I'm not saying he's going to be a perfect quarterback this season, but I think he might have the most all-purpose yards for any quarterback in the NFC East this season. That's my bold prediction for.
Wow. Okay.
He's such a threat running. I think he doesn't get enough credit for his arm. We'll see how it fits with. If there's something that gives me pause, it's Cliff Kingsbury.
Not Dan Quinn.
No, because he's the head coach.
Okay.
I think their defense will be better.
Why?
With Dan Quinn.
I mean, dude, I know that some of the pieces they lost, like Chase Young, they're not going to miss like entirely, but I don't know, man. Like the defense, I'm not sold on. My concern is because, like, especially on the offense, there's guys I love, right? They got Austin Eckler. I know definitely took a major step back last year, but I love Brian Robinson regardless if Eckler works out there or not. Scary Terry, love. Dotson, I think is good. I know they lost Curtis Samuel. Their offensive line is not good, though. Like, their O-line is not great. So that would definitely be a bit more concerning that Jatden Daniels might be running for his life, and not because, like, it's an intended scramble. It's because his O-line's not blocking for him. So
I think you'll have a shit ton of rushing yards regardless of the line.
I think it's going to be scary.
Yeah, I'm not saying they're good, but I'm saying, like, I think Dan Quinn's a good coach. I think the defense will be better coached with Dan Quinn. I don't know how good. It's fair to ask questions about the personnel on defense. I get that for sure. But I think when rookies are as athletic as Jatden Daniels, they tend to have good seasons.
Sure.
It takes a bit for defenses to figure out how to contain them. And I just think he's just fun too. He's fun to watch. So part of me is probably rooting for him to be fun to watch.
Sure.
Because I have not had any reason to really feel good about Commanders football or football team football or whatever for a long time. Like, they've been so boring. It would be nice if they weren't. And yes.
Listen, they're probably still going to beat the Eagles or give them a really hard time because for whatever reason, Philadelphia just has the worst time with the Commanders.
But they're interesting. They're another one of those teams. They're like we'll call them a year away team, right? They're probably a year away, but
yeah, secondary concerns me. The secondary definitely concerns me a bit. I would be concerned about the secondary. Yeah, you're looking at the tackles.
Jeremy Chinn's good. Is he still good, or did he just have a great rookie season? Added a nice corner. Oh, yeah, I forget they got Bobby Wagyu and Frankie Louvu. That was nice. They brought in a lot of Panthers. Interesting.
Yeah, Cliff is going to be interesting. Yeah. Cliff Kingsbury's going to be very interesting.
With Eckler, he wasn't as good last year, but
no.
Didn't he have like an ankle or some issue like all
some
season
going on? But
yeah, if he's healthy and like he's 90% of who he was, then that's a nice backfield. That's a very nice backfield.
Yeah. So I'm concerned. Again, I want to see Jatden Daniels do well, like you. It's just I don't know if I believe enough in the O-line because like them and the Giants had horrible O-lines in this division last year. It was bad. It was funny because like I was looking at the Giants. Remember when the Giants were just getting their ass kicked in the beginning of the season and like what was like 40-0 that the Cowboys did? And it was like, yeah, this is rough. Their O-line's really, really bad. Daniels got sacked 11 times in like one game. I think that was against the Seahawks, if I'm not mistaken. It was 9 or something like that. I think it was 11. And then I was like, oh wow, the Giants have a really bad O-line, and then I looked at the Commanders O-line last year. I was like, oh yeah, that's not good either.
Yeah,
So,
but and I'm not saying their offensive line was good, but how were their flaws amplified by Sam Howell and his tendency to take way too fucking many sacks?
Yeah.
He was on pace to break the record for most sacks in a season. Like, that's an issue. There's a lot of that's it's so hard unless you're like actually a film person trying to break down line film.
Yeah, tackle's not good.
There's a level it takes to be a film nerd in football and want to watch it. There's an even greater level to be a film nerd for offensive lineman play. And I love football, but I can't imagine a more boring task than trying to evaluate who blew assignments on the offensive line.
Sure.
And I think that just swapping Howell and Jatden Daniels will improve your line by a good margin in terms of the amount of sacks taken. They might not be significantly better in pass protection, but I think the amount of sacks Jatden Daniels would take versus Sam Howell will be drastically different. And I thought there was a lot to like from Sam Howell last season. That was his big flaw. So we'll see.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, Cowboys.
Cowboys, eh? Dallas.
Okay, is there a world where the Cowboys take a big old step back?
Sure, that can happen in any world. I don't think they will, but anything is possible.
I think they're going to still be a good team. I just don't know what they've done that is going to significantly improve their team. Like getting Tyler Guyton if he works out. Yeah, it's cool, right? Cooper Beebe, sure.
Well,
they're getting Trayvon back, right? Like that's gonna help.
They should re-sign Stephon Gilmore. I talked about that in like available free agents. I think he was good. I think it makes sense for him to come back to Dallas.
Yeah.
He played exactly the same as he did the year before when he was with the Colts. Like you signed him and he produced exactly like you thought he would. So they should bring him back. But I agree. But like I don't know if you're Dallas, like if you're a team that I know you're trying to get over the hump, right? But you have a good football team. And maybe just having most of the team together again is enough to win next season in the playoffs. Maybe. Ezekiel Elliott's back.
Zeke is back, yeah.
But yeah, they didn't do anything where you're like, that's the guy. But so many times, like, how often does that work?
No, I think like their offense will still be efficient. Like I think, CeeDee Lamb will have a nice season, everything like that. But yeah, I don't think I'm not completely sold. Like they haven't done anything that goes like, oh, this is a Super Bowl team now. Could they like not meet the 49ers and Packers in the playoffs and maybe make a run? Sure. But I think it's going to be tough. And I think the Eagles are going to be either the same or better. You got to hope that they were better just with a coordinator change. Offensive line we'll see, but like coordinator change, I think the Eagles will be better. Giants, we'll see if they're a little bit improved. Commanders, they're going to give the Eagles a tough time. Like I think it's still between the Cowboys and Eagles, but the Cowboys didn't do a whole lot to make me go, yeah, they're going to be like now they're going to get over the hump.
They're going to be about the same. They just got to win in the playoffs. Like that's, I know we want to shit on the Cowboys because it's funny, right?
Sure,
we all like to dog them for losing in the playoffs. But if you're a team who gets into the playoffs every year, you have a chance. And we're talking about them they just have to win one or two more games. One more game, really, and we'll feel better about the Cowboys season as a whole. They're right there. So I don't know if they had to do that much. I know that's a boring answer.
No, I get you.
But I said they should sign. I also said they should sign Hunter Renfrow. He's a free agent. I really don't know why. I think Dak's the kind of quarterback who would utilize Hunter Renfrow. Maybe they're a team too who, if the 49ers are interested in moving Aiyuk, they would be interested. The 49ers helping the Cowboys win another playoff game would be hilarious. Would be hilarious in terms of the historical rivalry between those two franchises. Won't happen.
I hope they do.
I want to see it.
I hope they do. There's some changes.
Oh, wait. Hold on.
I think the coordinator shift is going to be the biggest, improvement. Also,
Where did Kellen Moore go? I was just looking at that.
Perna, I don't know what it is, but Johnny sent us a clip of the Skip Bayless. So let's see what we got.
But I love sex.
I just busted right inside him, and he can't extend on me anymore, and he seems a little overwhelmed by my girth.
I don't watch porn.
That is such a
Yes.
GPS clip.
I want to take down my Skip video so I could just put that in there. That's brilliant.
But I love sex.
I just busted right inside him, and he can't extend on me anymore, and he seems a little overwhelmed by my girth.
I don't watch porn.
That is Johnny. Well done. That is exactly peak GPS.
Ever. Yeah. What Skip's saying there is very relatable until he says overwhelmed by my girth. That part that's never really translated, but the rest of it, oh my God.
That's a new clip. Yep, that one.
Actually, you know what? I picked this Cowboys to win based on that clip. Skip was a Cowboys fan. Skip's been fired. The Cowboys will go further because Skip's gone. They won't have to listen to his ass. They won't have to watch him throw their jerseys away. I think the Cowboys, maybe he was their curse. He was their curse.
Maybe. Don't watch more. And then the Eagles. Philadelphia. All right. They get Saquon.
Yep.
Big fan of that. They lose Swift, right? Because Swift goes to the Bears. I think having Saquon there, if Saquon's healthy and behind that O-line, it could be a good year for Mr. Saquon Barkley there.
I like it.
I'm excited. I'm really excited to see Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, another year in that defense and potentially getting better.
Yeah.
And Bryce Huff, right? There's some guys. They got CJ Gardner-Johnson back. I don't think that that's a huge upgrade, but in the effing draft, they get Quinion Mitchell and they get Cooper DeJean. So they are already building that secondary, and any of those guys can perform. They're rocking, dude. So I think just with the coordinator change alone, who they've added, as long as they're, no one takes a huge decline, I think they're going to be good. I think the Eagles are going to be good again.
Yeah, I think you got to feel really good about the Eagles' depth right now.
Yes.
Secondary. I don't know about quarterback.
Yeah.
But other than that, Cooper DeJean, and Reed Blankenship.
Do I like Kellen Moore there? Let me put it this way. It's better than what they had. I think.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if Kellen Moore's a good coordinator yet. He didn't help the Chargers a lot last year. So we'll see.
So it goes.
But
as always.
I think Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, you mentioned.
Yep.
Defensive line, I feel like that's a progression usually. You have to be patient when you draft defensive linemen because I think it just takes a couple years for those guys to get really good in the league. Unless you're talking about the freak edge rushers. That's easier to be successful right away. But and we saw that both Carter was playing really good through the first half of the season. It was talked about every week. I feel he set a new pressure record, all that stuff. I think they'll be better. I think their defensive front will be better. I think Fangio makes sense for Philly. It's assuming somebody tells him to stop being such a fucking prick all the time. to the players. I think that's just kind of like what you got to do. You got to chill. Fangio needs to just chill a little bit. They need to start slipping in some weed to whatever he's consuming. He just needs to mellow out a little bit. Offense, they got so many weapons. You love Smith. You love A.J. Brown. They got a lot of depth behind Dallas Goedert. Got Alberto back there. That's your number 4 guy, C.J. Uzama. I don't even know who Grant is.
That got me. Dude,
but on defense, like everywhere you look, it's like there's an interesting depth piece from Nakobe Dean, like Nolan Smith,
we'll see.
Keely Ringo. These were all like value draft picks for them.
Which is where that came about. The Eagles are just picking guys that, like, who everybody knows their name.
Injured players from Georgia or whatever, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But like Brandon Graham, you got him behind like Bright. Like there's real depth there.
I forgot that Oren Burks went there. Shout out. Old 49er, but former Green Bay Pack. I am still upset about Oren Burks. I got him right. The Packers were going to draft him the year, and it just never worked out.
I kind of want the Broncos to send Riley Moss to Philly so they have 2 white corners and a white safety.
All right.
I don't know if it's good, but like 3 white players in a secondary, that's never happened.
That was a white.
Plus they have Devin White. That would be 4 whites. Holy shit. That's 2 white. That's too many whites.
It's too many.
You're not going to win on defense.
So I think the Eagles finish first place. I think that they.
Well, I think in terms of, if we're talking about an actual football opinion, I agree with you. But based on the Skip Bayless curse being lifted, I'm putting Dallas at number 1.
That's very.
It's that strong.
You're just going with vibes. Yeah, I got the Eagles. I got the Cowboys. Oh, God.
Dallas, Philly, Washington, New York. That's what I'm going with.
That's what I'm like.
No offense, New York, but they were high on Drake May. They didn't get him. You kind of want to be bad if you're the Giants. They're going to draft Shedeur Sanders, calling it now. Ooh, so Shedeur Sanders with Brian Dable, that kind of might work.
God, that is so difficult for me to choose.
Whoa. I'm not a Giants hater. Nothing would make me more happy than watching Tommy DeVito win a playoff game.
Do you know how happy I was when the Giants beat the Vikings in the playoffs?
Yeah. Yeah, that game was awesome. I'm rooting
just
for Daniel
sucked
Jones.
ass last year.
They had a good season, then they had a horrible season.
I'm going to do Commanders 3rd, Giants 4th, but that's tough.
It comes down to, like, I just think Jatden Daniels will be better than Daniel Jones. It's a battle of the Daniels.
There you go.
The double dance.
That's
Which
true.
Daniel will be better?
I stopped calling them New Jersey Giants. And second of all, I should hate the Giants because all those Super Bowls that they won all against the Patriots, guess who they beat to get there? So, yeah. I do. Yeah, Tim Grissy, I heard, is a phenomenal player. Hear that stat line.
We're creating our player, and they're like, make it Tom. And I was like, well, I don't want to get copyrighted, so we'll go Tim Grissy.
What, am I going to go after you and just be like, oh, got him? I don't even think that's how it
after
works.
you saw how bad he was, you might, Tom.
That's fair.
But
that's fair.
Let me just say,
okay,
I'm seeing that College Football 25 is actually a hard video game.
Yeah.
I've been seeing a lot of like, this is pretty difficult. And I was playing on the second hardest setting, and I have never played that game. So I felt a little better.
Watch this.
Tim Grissy. Oh, but I did put you in Minnesota. You're playing for the Minnesota Gophers. Was it the Gophers?
What the hell, man?
We were like, they were interested. And I was like, it would be funny to send Tim Grissy to Minnesota for college. We had fun.
Great.
I got to play a little bit, and then I'm going to give Tim Grissy the respect. He's girthy. He's 391 pounds.
Is he a wide receiver?
No, he's quarterback, baby. But he's pretty quick. I figured out you just got to run with Grissy.
He's a 391-pound quarterback.
Yeah, baby.
And he's quick.
Yeah. Dude, your players on that game suck. Don't get me wrong, I was bad. But my good throws, receiver just drops it. Running back, the first game averaged negative yards per carry. And I can't control the running back in this mode. You hand it off, it's the computer doing it. It was terrible. It's tough. What was your order of teams for the NFC?
I think we had the same thing. It was Eagles, Cowboys, Commanders, Giants. And that's a tough one. But
I got Cowboys at the top.
Okay, there you go. There you go. Part of what you got coming out today. See, we got to it. We got to the East. Yeah, we got to it. It's fine.
Nothing. Go watch the Skip Bayless video. It's 26 minutes long.
It's very fair.
I edited it in one day.
There you go.
Ugh.
Nicely done. Yeah, I'm gonna try to get out of Skip today. I am flying out at I have to leave my house at 5 a.m. tomorrow to fly to Milwaukee to go inspect this house that I'm trying to purchase. So yeah, there'll be something. That'll be here. Oh yeah, that was a great idea by Scott. Yeah, you want to do that charity stream? You should just watch Coach during it.
How long? What's first of all, what's the best season? I don't care if I don't know what's happening.
Coach of Sagas. Which one?
Coach. I think I would rather watch a saga, but
I would say probably 4. Season 4 is really good.
How long is season 4?
It's a couple hours.
Okay.
So when I did my rewatch, they did the math. It was 41 hours of streaming.
That's a lot of streaming.
I mean, you're in the West Saga.
I know. I would watch. Yeah, maybe I'll watch the West Saga.
Just saying.
Like a narcissist.
Just saying.
I'd be down to do it for charity and signups. Why not both?
Just sign up, say charity. A little money for them, a little money for me. But I'll be there. But folks, Perna's out Friday and Monday, yeah?
Yeah, I'll be in the Las Montañas.
There you go. But we appreciate you, folks. Hopefully, oh, God. If that Jordan Love news breaks tomorrow when I'm out, I'm going to be so pissed, man. I'm going to be so... Folks, thank you so much for watching. I'm Tom Grossi. That's Brandon Perna. We'll be back on Wednesday, a week from today. This is GPS. And you have been navigated.
And you've reached your destination. And never forget, your destination is...
Or pump it inside to make him come.
Johnny, you got to add that to the mix.
But I love sex.
I just busted right inside him, and he can't extend on me anymore, and he seems a little overwhelmed by my girth.
I don't watch porn.
It's the hand motion.